Well, hey everyone, it's another evening out here in the shop, and I got some stuff in that I'd ordered on eBay, which is pretty exciting, and some of it is really actually quite cool. But it snowed again last night, so there's more snow to deal with, and that's going to require El Toro Viejo, the old bull, the 1968 Toro Snow Hound. If you've been around for a while, you guys know how much I love that thing. It's an amazing machine, but it's not without its foibles. It does have a rather cantankerous carburetor, so that's always been the issue right from when I picked it up. It needed a carb. I could not find a carb. I could maybe get an OEM carb from Tecumseh, but it was really like $150 kind of thing for a snowblower that's, worth 50 bucks, right? So that wasn't really feasible. I ordered a carb from Amazon that was close, and I kind of mixed and matched parts to make something that would work. But ultimately, it kind of doesn't. If I don't remember to shut it off when I park it in here, maybe 50% of the time, it'll empty its fuel tank all over the ground. I've been in the carb a half dozen times and adjusted the float and this, that, everything. It just doesn't want to work. And sometimes it'll even do it while I'm using it, which is annoying because you can't just shut off the fuel. I mean, there's snow to clear, so it just drips fuel right out of the carb while it's running. But being a bit of a hoarder,
broken roads, desert dust bowl sun, where the bill man will call you almost every week. Which bills to pay today, what's left in the fridge to eat, where stars frame the night.
I saved the original carb. Some of these parts are actually off of the replacement carb. Particularly this choke lever is different. And I got all the old parts in here. Everything is cleaned up. I've done that behind the scenes. And then off of eBay, I found, I'm gonna have to show this to you quite carefully, an NOS rebuild kit for that carb. The plastic is extremely brittle. The rubber is of questionable quality at this point, but there's metal parts in there that I just couldn't get anywhere else, and hopefully the seat for the needle and stuff like that is going to be usable. So tonight's plan is to rebuild this carb, get it ready at least to install on the snowblower. I should probably actually just get it done. Well, we'll see how far we get. This bowl gasket, it might be okay. It's got some white residue on it, but it's actually shrunk quite a bit from the one that was in here. Is it even gonna work? Well, it's on there. I might just give this a rub down with some, I don't know, maybe some fluid film or something, just to bring it back. If not, I'll reuse this one because this one's still good. I honestly don't even know what this little orange thing is. No idea. A new main jet and needle, so that's nice. A couple new Welch plugs, which is good. O-ring and a seat. A new seat for the needle and a new needle. That's really the main thing I'm after here, isn't it? Another, the main adjustment needle, a new pin for our float, a bowl, jet gasket. So all of this looks like a great place to start. Got it. Whew. That was interesting. Okay, good. Now, that new fella, we can use a 532 11/64. Perfect. Drop of oil on it to make our life easier. A tiny little groove on one side and the other side is flat. The groove goes down into the carb. Now we're going to put in next, I think, the Welch plugs. So one goes in here, the larger one. And one goes on the side here, the smaller one. Start there, set it into place, and then, so it's nice and stable, a little random piece of steel that'll fit there. That should work. Give it a few pops. And it should stay put now. It looks like it is. Good. I just pulled them out to clean underneath, basically to see what was underneath, really. This large one goes in here. Exact same idea. And they just fall straight out. Maybe we'll use a little punch on it. Yeah, that worked. I'm gonna do this one again too, just because I don't trust it fully. You can give it a little dent in the middle. This one's still loose. Now we're stuck. Good deal. Suppose the next thing we should do is get this main jet back up into here. And I think I'm going to use this as a bit of a press. Perfect. This is the original throttle plate. if you look at that throttle plate right in that dark area, there's a bit of a line. I don't know if you can see that. But that line is going to be facing us and pointing up when we install it. And I think that's this little screw here. Once I got the screw started, then I'll worry about aligning that mark. I'm going to press this in, and I'm going to use a little bit of, retaining compound just to make sure that it stays where I want it. It's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit loose. All right, that should work. Round little O-ring here, I think. Goes in there. With a tiny brass washer over top of it. And a spring. And this new needle goes right in there. The needle, when we put this together, clip it in. All right, and we got our float ready. Now the long arm, according to Tecumseh, points toward the choke side. Apparently that's important. I'm not sure why, but that's what they say. So that's what we'll do. This is always the hardest part. Everything I read says 11/64, and I'm just not convinced. That's a lot higher than this is sitting. Don't see us getting there. Well, I guess we'll, that's not bad. Kind of roll with it. And when we put the bowl on, this indented side goes towards the hinge side. Okay, good times. Well, the next step in rebuilding this carb is I need the choke shaft off of the other carb. And I guess realistically I need the whole carb off of there, so I think maybe that's a tomorrow problem, because it's just about 1:30 in the morning. Good night. Next morning, got the power handle up on the bench here, just to make it a lot easier to work on. Really gotta get a new one of these. And now the usual fun, getting this all apart. We've done this a few times now. I always feel like if I had just the right tool, I could just get in here and just get a socket on there and pull this apart, but such things do not exist. Sort of choke plate off. I kind of use it as a primer, so basically when the choke's on, you push this, it covers the opening, and then when you pull the cord, it pulls extra fuel in, I guess. I've never used it, never had to. There. When you install this, always with the flat side down, this choke plate. Okay, choke plate is in. And I preset my mixture screws as well. So the idle mixture screw is 1 turn out, the main is 1.5 out. That's what Tecumseh recommends, and we'll take it from there. And now, the fun of putting it back together. Let's give it a go. Fuel on. Might take a bit to fill up the bowl, I suppose. Full throttle. Choke is on. That seems to run a lot better than it did before. It's never idled so nicely. I have said it before, and now I will say it again even louder. What a machine. With this new carb, it's running better than ever, stronger than ever. It didn't leak any fuel while it was running, so I did shut off the fuel anyway because you should, but if I forget, then hopefully it doesn't drain out all over the shop floor. So that is, that's a success right there. Thanks for watching. Till next time, keep it in the litter box. Cheers.